If you adopt the mindset that there's addition by subtraction, your life is guaranteed to change and you will get closer to living the life of your vision. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Practice, where we fuse research and culture to help you develop the mindsets, the habits, the skills that you need in order to live out your purpose with confidence. I'm your coach, Dr. Rees, and it's time for us to get better, y'all. Let's grow. There's a term that we used to always say in sports, and I actually still say it now. And as a coach, it is addition by subtraction. Now, where this came up was when you have a player or somebody on your team that could be kind of cancerous, toxic, destroying the culture, not living up to what they're supposed to be, the standards that you have. And when you say addition by subtraction, what you're saying is if you remove this person from the team, you remove this person from the culture, their toxicity leaving and excavating and being gone from the culture and from the team will then allow your team's culture to grow, because that is how you have addition and growth, by subtracting that person. So I believe that if you have the ability to subtract certain things out of your life, you will have growth. If you can adopt the mindset that there is addition by subtraction, you will have growth in your life in every area, and you will be able to see that your vision will then be able to come to fruition simply because you remove things from your life that equated to you actually having value added to your life. And here are what some of those things are. The first one is distractions. Now that goes without saying, but I'm not going to tell you what distractions are. You're going to tell you what distractions are, because a distraction for you may not be a distraction for me and or somebody else. So this is a question I'm throwing back to you. What are some distractions that you have in your life that are distractions, and you're like, I just don't want to face it. And trust me, I feel you. Um Distractions are everywhere. And even some of these things on the list that I'm going to talk about today, you're probably like, well, aren't those just distractions? They can be. It's up to you. And a distraction also could be, as I'm thinking about it, it could be avoidance. You could be using avoidance and procrastination. Like those might be some distractions because you're distracting yourself with those things. So that's equating to avoidance, it's equating to procrastination. And if you can eliminate, right, if you can either eliminate or you can just decrease the amount of time that you spend doing these things, your life's value will expand, right? Not your inherent value as a person, but your life's value will expand because you eliminated or decreased the amount of times that you spent procrastinating or in avoidance in dealing with certain distractions. So I need you to think about that first. What are those? What are the distractions in your life that pop up? It could be, man, it could be anything. But I really want you to sit and think long and hard. Like, what are some distractions I have? The second one, and this one I'm talking to me, is TV. Now, I'm not telling you to get rid of TV. I'm not telling you stop watching TV. I love TV. I love being entertained. I love watching TV and movies. Like, I love it. I'm for it. I'm pro it. However, when it keeps me up past my bedtime, that's when it becomes a toxic and bad thing for me. So I have to be more intentional with being able to find that balance of how can I watch TV to the point that it does not disrupt the rest of what I got going on. Like TV is not bad, inherently not bad in and of itself. But when it keeps me up past 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I gotta finish this episode. Oh, I gotta finish this show. Oh, I gotta. And then next thing I know, I'm falling asleep on the couch. Woo, hate it. But I will admit that I have I think I developed that in a season of like intense grief that I was in. And I never used to be somebody that watched a whole bunch of TV, because I also came from a school of thought that, like, when I was younger, oh, you shouldn't watch a bunch of TV. TV's bad for you, blah blah blah. And I hated that. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to seem like I was somebody who was wasting my life and my time away. Um, And I was so short-sighted and so small-minded. Probably that's the word I'm looking for. I was so small-minded in how I received the message from other people who were also small-minded, who thought that people who watch TV were bad, that when I was in my early 20s, I was extremely disrespectful. Not I'm saying extremely because I don't like to be, but it was mean. I was mean to somebody who also watched TV. And it was a former coworker. And I had said I had had a really bad response to them when I said that I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And they were like, "Oh yeah, I also wake up at that time." And I was like, "What?" I was so pumped. And then when they told me, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Why? What do you do?" Like I'm thinking they wake up, they pray, they meditate, they go to the gym, they work out, they do all those raw things, right? That I did. And they were like, "Watch TV." I was like, I was so you could not tell me. I just the face I made, my body language. I don't remember what I said explicitly or specifically because it was over a decade ago, but I know that the face I made and the body language that I made was so you could tell because the person and I never spoke again. However, I had the opportunity to apologize to them last week. Thank God. And even though it was a decade later, I still wanted to apologize for being mean. I don't want to give off that era. And there's a lot of apologizing I have to do for the person that I used to be. You might have to do a lot of apologizing for the person you used to be, and it's going to be the humility that allows you to do it. It just is what it is. You have to be able to endure that. And so let me get back on track. TV in and of itself is not a bad thing. However, when watching TV becomes an escape, and that escape turns into avoidance, and then the avoidance turns into procrastination, and all those things combined put your future self in a position that you don't want to be in, that's when TV is something that you need to eliminate or decrease. And for me, I will say, and it's so funny because obviously I'm talking about this one so much longer than I did distractions because again, I want to leave distractions up to you, but um having to find pockets. Like if I know I want to get in my 10,000 steps, then and I haven't gotten them in by a certain time frame, then I might be like, "Okay, cool, I'm going to go hop on the treadmill. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes and watch the show." So now I'm not sitting on the couch watching TV. I'm able to get in my steps and watch a show at the same time. But I'm saying all this to say that yes, we need to have breaks. Yes, we need to have a sense of entertainment. Some people may not watch TV at all, and they don't watch movies at all, and they only read books or they don't do any of that. That's is what it is. But I just feel like this is a distraction. This is something that's come up in my life heavily as of late, and I have to face it head on. I have to name it, and I have to face it. Watching TV keeps me up too late at night, especially during the week, and my future self is mad at my past self because my past self did not go to sleep in time because I was watching a TV show. And here's what sucks about that is the TV shows ain't going nowhere. They will still be there the next day. They will still be there on the weekend. All these things, it's not like I'm in a TV show club like a book club. It's not like I need to have this. So I've created, I don't know, something, an attachment to it to where it tests my discipline. So an area of discipline I'm trying to grow in right now is being able to get up off the couch after around 9:30 and take myself upstairs to start getting ready to bed so I can be in bed by 9:45. And the reason for that is because I get up at 4. Now, if I wasn't getting up till 5, 6, 7, 8 in the day, then sure I could stay up later. But then when you think about it, if I was to spend, Jew goes to bed around 8. So if I was to spend from 8 to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, let's say 8 to 11, that's 3 hours. If I spent 3 hours every night watching TV for at least Monday through Friday, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's 15 hours watching TV a week. That doesn't even include Saturday or maybe an extended time on Friday or maybe even Sunday. That's just Monday through Friday. And that's a whole lot of time. So you cannot tell me that you don't have time and space to be selfish when you are spending 15 hours a week watching TV. I just can't. I will not take it. I can't take it. I don't care. I cannot take the excuse that you don't have time when you're watching TV for 15 plus hours a week. And again, this is coming from somebody who loves to be entertained. I love TV. I'm on devices all day long, whether it's TV, or movies, YouTube, all the streaming platforms, TikTok, IG, all those things. I get it. So again, I'm talking to myself really when I'm being stern. Um, but the thing that sucks is because we stay up late to do that, we can't get up early. Like that really is it. It's like if you want to get up earlier, you have to go to bed earlier because you still need your sleep, especially all of us who are getting older. Like getting sleep is necessary. So I can't decrease my amount of sleep. And if you think about it, how silly of a reason is that to say, I'm just going to get less sleep so I can watch more TV? What? Ah, Jesus, help me. I'm going to get less sleep so I can watch more TV. I still want to get up early. And it's silly. And I say it's silly because TV just shouldn't be. And it's funny to think about like when TVs were created, people are like, what? Nobody's going to sit in their living rooms and watch this box. And then it blew up to the thing that it is today. And streaming services are everywhere and they're taking over, everything, right? YouTube is one of the most watched platforms and superseded Netflix recently. And so again, they're not going anywhere, especially with folks like myself who create content all day long for people to be on their screen. So like I'm a part of the problem. Not really, because I don't get that many views. So I'm not really a part of the problem. I'm trying to be a part of the problem. I'm trying to be a solution within the problem at the same time. Addition by subtraction. Anyways, let's hop off of this TV thing. Let me wind this down. If you have 15 hours to watch TV a week, you have 5 hours to invest in yourself. Period. If you have 15 plus hours to watch TV every week, you have 5 hours to invest in yourself. There's really, there's no, plenty of excuses you can give, but I want you to get to the root of the reason of why am I allowing myself to engage in this much activity or non-activity of just watching TV, but then I'm also using and creating excuses of why I can't invest in me in whatever area. So that's a conversation you got to have with yourself. The next area is things that don't no longer serve you in your village. So we're talking about addition by subtraction. Let me go backwards really quick. If we're talking about addition by subtraction, if I can subtract the amount of hours a week I'm watching TV, I will add value to my life. Period. If I can subtract the amount of distractions that I have, I will I'm adding more space and capacity for value to be added to my life. So now when it comes to things that no longer serve you and your village, again, this is something that you get to think about. Like, what do I do now today that no longer serves the current me that I am, but it used to serve the old me? Like the old me used to really be served by this. The old me, you really used to get value from this. The old me, you really used to enjoy this. And I want you to fill in the blank on whatever that this is. And then think about maybe like my village. So whether it's your family, it's your kids, it's your partner, it's people you serve, like what things are happening. And you're like, oh yeah, I don't really get value from that anymore. So for a very, like, just an example, we just got rid of Jew's trampoline and he's older. He would only jump on it sometimes if kids came over, but because he's getting older, the kids are getting older, the trampoline was a little bit older, it no longer served him and who he is, and so now we don't have a trampoline anymore. And he don't really miss it because it's not the same as what it was. It served him in that season of life where now it's like it doesn't serve him anymore. And so what are some things for you that you're like, when I was a year, 2 or 3 ago, I used to do this. When I was in that old relationship, I used to do this. When I was here, I did that. So I want you to think and do some reflecting on what are some things that I do that really used to bring me value that no longer bring me value anymore. What are some things that my family and I used to do? Like just because you have a tradition doesn't mean that tradition should still be a tradition. Just saying. So now the fourth one is self-limiting beliefs. If you have the ability to subtract self limiting beliefs from your thought process and from your life, you will create the capacity to add more value to your existence, to your life, to your lived experience. Your lived experience will have more value added to it when you have the ability to subtract self limiting beliefs. Now, this is something that you have to sit with yourself and say, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? Again, we're talking about vision. So, what vision do I want to set for my life? And if there's something in you that's like, then that right there is a self-limiting belief. Is it fear? Do you not feel like you can work hard enough? Is it that it's hard? So, Jew is Zakora and I are running a marathon. Woo, woo. We're running a marathon, and Jew is doing some practicing with us. And today on the way to school, I asked him how he felt about running last night. And I said, wouldn't it be cool for you to see yourself, run the whole thing without stopping? He was like, yeah, but I'm not training for the marathon. I said, oh, I know. I know you're not training for the marathon, but you're still an elite athlete. Like you still are playing sports and you want to be able to have endurance for your games. And he was like, yeah, but it's hard. And I told him this. I said, don't allow the thing that you desire. Don't allow the fact that the thing that you desire is hard to keep you from getting after it. Don't allow the fact that the thing that you desire to get to is hard to get to. Don't allow that to keep you from going to get after it. Too many of us will have a desire and a vision for our life and then have the realization like, oh, shoot, it's hard to acquire that thing. And because it's hard, we now create a barrier in our mind that says, this thing is hard, I can't do it. This thing is hard, I don't want to. And then you fill in the blank. And because my 8-year-old son verbalized this for me, I know that now when adults say that, that's the little kid in you speaking. You as a kid, us as kids developed this thing that the things that I want in life to acquire are going to be hard. And then we never had the ability to say, not only I can do hard things, but this is where confidence development comes from. Confidence requires friction. Confidence requires challenge. So hard is necessary. So not only can I say I believe I could do hard things, I have to prove to myself and see that I can do hard things because the best of the best are not swayed by something that they want to get in life being hard. They know that it's a part of it. You're not tripping over hard. Carol Lawson at Duke, she has a saying, handle hard better. And that's literally what we need to do is we need to train ourselves to handle hard better. Life is going to be hard. That for everybody, but everybody's heart is different. So you need to figure out how do I handle hard better and how do I eliminate the self-limiting beliefs that tell me I can't handle hard. Because if I tell me I can't handle hard, I'll never have the life I desire to have. And we cannot have that. So I need you to think to yourself, what are some self-limiting beliefs that I have that I need to get rid of? I need to subtract these self-limiting beliefs so I can add value to my life and others. The very last one that I want to tap on, woo, is a little bit tough. This last one I want to touch on is tough, y'all. I need you to embrace yourself. Mindless scrolling. Now, remember, this is practice and I'm your coach. And remember that I'm always, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. I'm never sitting here preaching at you, being like, yo, you got to do this and that. And I'm not doing it myself. Mindless scrolling is so detrimental. And it's detrimental because of the word mindless. Like, how many times have you gone on social media, looked at your phone and just wop, 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 wop. You look. And then it's an hour later. There are times when I'll ask myself, literally, I did it this morning. I watched 4 videos and I was like, and I caught myself and recognized, oh, I'm mindless scrolling. And I got off and I said, what did I just learn or gain from the scrolling I just did? What did I learn or gain from the scrolling I just did? And I have to start asking myself that because like, did I, and here's what's good enough for me too. Like, did I get a good laugh? Like, I love going on TikTok so I can find something to laugh at. Like, Laughter is great medicine for the heart, and I spend a lot of time alone and I think I'm funny, but like I'm not cracking myself up. You know what I'm saying? So like I need to go on social media sometimes to find a good laugh. So there's laughed. I will find a video that I want to respond to later, or something that inspires me, or just something that's some really good information. So I have to go through like, did the time that I just spent on social media, did it add value to me in any of those ways? And if it didn't, then I just wasted my time. And if we're scrolling for, man, y'all, I'm going to say longer than 10 minutes. If you're scrolling for longer than 10 minutes and put your phone down and then say, what did I just see? If you can't recall what you just saw, if you can't recall what you learned, what you laughed at, and all those kinds of things, then you've literally scrolled in numbness. And I have done it. I have sat on the toilet for super long and just wop, wop, wop. I'm scrolling. I've laid in bed and scrolled. I've sat when I'm supposed to be doing something else and scrolled. But now that it is at the top of my mind and I'm always reminding myself, nope, what are we doing? Nope, we could be doing something else. The time that you're doing this. And also as somebody who wants to add value through all of the platforms, am I scrolling more than I'm adding value? I don't want that to happen. And not everybody I get creates content, so that might not apply to everybody, but it applies to me. Am I over here watching everybody else live out their dreams and goals and aspirations, and I'm over here, liking all their content, but I ain't edited my videos? I'm over here enjoying all this, but I ain't, published mine. Like I can't have that. So I think that mindless scrolling is so detrimental. And if we're able to, I didn't say eliminate. If we're able to decrease, give yourself a time limit. I have had to tell myself in the times it's kind of iffy depending on what I'm doing. If I'm writing my book, I won't go on social media before I write. If I'm doing some type of development and creative, I won't go on social before I do that. I try to set time parameters. I won't go on before 8 or 10, and then I won't go on after those time frames. But sometimes it really depends on the day. Like if I was like, oh, I haven't really been on social today. Cool. I'll tap in and I'll look at something. But first thing in the morning, absolutely not. While I'm still in bed in the morning, absolutely not. Before I meditate and pray and visualize, absolutely not, because I'm not going to give my mind access to all these other different things before I've had a chance to take control of it. So I encourage you to decrease the amount of scrolling that you do, especially, this just popped in my head, because there's so much fake stuff out there. There's so much fake, so many. I don't know how I'm saying that right. There's just so much fake stuff out on the internet right now that I'm convinced that the more we scroll, the more we're just consuming fakeness. And that just sounds gross. It's almost like eating just a whole bunch of bad food. You're just consuming bad food. And and I don't, yeah, and it's gross to me. And again, as somebody who operates in this space, I get it, I understand it, but I think we should be cognizant of like, what are we consuming? Just what are we consuming? And this isn't a cut it out video. This isn't a eliminate social media. Da 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 da. I go on cleanses as well. There's times where I won't go on for who knows what. I remember when my mom passed away, I didn't go on social for about a year. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't go on Facebook. I still have a weird disdain with Facebook. And so I just encourage you, like, instead of scrolling, what else could you add? What is it that you're looking for? What are you seeking? We talked about on last episode, how can we grow holistically in 7 ways? And the seventh way was intellectually. And you may say, okay, instead of scrolling, I'm going to find, like I have masterclass. And so you might say, I want to spend some time on masterclass. I want to spend some time learning this. I want to spend some time reading a book. Like find another, you have enough time in the day, in the week, in the month to be able to find ways to add value to yourself. It may not be the day. Now, every day is different. So you may not have time in the day, but you may have some time in the week. And if you got time to scroll and you got time to watch TV, like if I was to add up the amount of time I spent on TV and social media, screen time just in general, over the last couple years, it would be high. It would be high. And I think I would be embarrassed of that number. And again, embarrassment produces change. So I'm not afraid of that. And actually, I'm not afraid to say it because I've made the changes of like, yeah, this can't continue. Because you'll see, I've seen a decrease in who I am, not a decrease in who I am, but my efficiency in getting things done. And I value excellence and achievement in being able to go to bed on time and waking up and being disciplined and having self control. And the more time that I spend watching TV and scrolling on social media, my discipline decreases and my self control decreases, which means I'm ultimately not being able to be the high performer that I desire to be. And I cannot afford to be getting mad at me for something that I did. I put myself in that situation. So it's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. In this situation, it's both. It's the chicken and the egg. We got to be able to get to the root, cut that joint out, or at least eliminate it. I'm not going to stop watching TV and I'm not going to stop scrolling on social media, but I will be more cognizant of the times that I do it and how long I do it and the value that I'm getting from those things so I can ensure I'm only consuming things that are also good for me. I don't need to inhale a whole bunch of garbage and trash. I don't need to do it. I don't think it makes me better. And that is a challenge I'm giving to myself. Now, here's a challenge I'm giving to you. And I'm going to end this practice with this. I just mentioned a little bit ago that Zakora and I are doing a marathon. And I want to take a moment to talk about that because this thing scared me. I have always had running, when I say this, I've always had running a 3K or 5K. I've always had running a 5K on my bucket list. Always wanted to do it. And this is like in my early 20s. I just always thought it was dope to be able to run a marathon or run a 5K. In my mind, a 5K and a marathon were the exact same thing. So I thought, or I wanted to run a 5K. After I stopped playing ball professionally, I was still in really good shape because I was 24. 24, I was coaching full time. So I was in the gym, I was working out every day. And I was like, this is the time that I'm going to start becoming a runner. And so I started running and I would run from like my grandma's house to my mom's house. And then I would run chambers with my mom. I would run around like I was running. And my mom was an avid runner. Like this chick ran. She's a runner for sure. I'm sure she's on a treadmill in heaven right now, just doing her thing, running around the streets of gold. But she loved it, and she wasn't a very good athlete like in other aspects, but the chick can run, and so I wanted to be able to enjoy that with her. And so once I would say probably once I started coaching and didn't really have space to run outside that much anymore or create space to run outside, I stopped running. And then COVID hit and it was like, oh, I should run. And then I was in Texas and it was kind of, and I started running a little bit more. And I just had this in and out, in and out, in and out kind of deal with running and where I would go hard for about a month. And so I never set the intention. I had it on my bucket list to run a 5K, but it was always a lofty goal and vision. And so I never set the intention to really find a race to run and, yeah, find a race to run and then say, I'm going to run this race on this day. One, because I don't know, never fully felt inspired to do it. And then once I had, no, I guess, I don't know. I never really felt inspired to do it, but then I also just wasn't intentional with following through. So I through the last couple years I've seen running become more and more, and people are like, "Oh, I'm a hybrid athlete. I lift weights really hard and I run." I'm like, that's just being a college athlete to me, but I get it. A lot of folks who don't have that experience like to create cool words like I'm a hybrid athlete. No, you're an athlete, and you move your body, and so anyways, a lot of folks have started to do marathons that I've seen. I'm like, yo, that's so dope. But I still never, I always kept it on my bucket list and I never set a date for one to actually put the intention behind making it happen. One of my friends and I, Denise, shout out to Denise if you're listening to this. Last year we held each other accountable with running 3 times a week. This was through like August, September, October. We did that and we knocked it out and it was dope. And I am much bigger now, way, way, way bigger than I've ever been in my life. And so running doesn't feel good. Before, when I was in shape, it was like amazing. Like when I was living in Arizona, back in, I was still in college at this time. I was a junior in college, about to be a senior in college. Like I ran every day. I was so in shape. I ran to the Y, got in a basketball workout and lifted, and then ran home before 7 o'clock. Like I was that chick. And I am still that chick deep inside. She just has a whole lot of extra fat on her. So I still desire to do all of those things. I just I'm just bigger. And so what happened, and the reason why I'm telling this story is because I have to eliminate certain things in order for me to expand my capacity and to add value in my life in a new way. So my challenge to you is this. I'm challenging you to take something off of your bucket list that has been there for too long. I'm challenging you to take something off your bucket list that has been there for too long. And the reason why it's still there is out of fear and lack of attention and inspiration. So, whatever that may be, is figure out, why has this thing been on my bucket list for 5 plus years? Why have I not achieved it? Why have I not gone after it? Ask yourself that question. Is it fear? If it's not fear, then is it funds? Then what do I need to do to save the funds? Is it time? What do I need to do to create the time? Is it lack of like inspiration or intentionality? Figure out whatever it is, but let this be the year that you take that thing off of your bucket list. Now, for some people, they might just be filled with travel. And I get it, like travel is hard, but there should be other things on your bucket list that should expand your human experience. And for me right now, it is running a marathon. Being in, I'm saying a marathon and it's a half marathon, but I'm considering it a whole half marathon because it went from me having a desire to run a 5K to running a whole half marathon. And um so I guess back up to that, it's scary because I could pass out. It's scary because of the pain. It's scary because of how big I am. Like it's only scary because running requires a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of endurance. But because I can train for that thing, it diminishes the fear. So this is why I'm encouraging you to take something off of your bucket list that has to do with personal development and personal expansion, is because you're going to become a better person because of it. I'm only on day 2 of training and I'm already a better human being because I've committed to doing this thing. I didn't just commit to having it on my bucket list. I've committed to actually training and seeing it through, and I'm so glad that I did. So the marathon we'll be running will be the Nike like showdown at nighttime. Can't remember the name, but it's in LA, and then it ends with the Dochi concert. How fire is that? So I found a sense of inspiration. I actually saw the date, and it's an all women's run in LA at night, and I'm like, that is dope. And I'm in a season right now of reclaiming me and reclaiming the me that's in there, that is an athlete that loves to run and jump and move and all of that. Like I freaking love that stuff. But because I put on so much grieving weight, it's time for me to get this joint off. And the only way I know how to get it off is by being the person that I love to be. So I'm gonna narrow this down. I'm gonna shut this off. But that's my challenge to you, is while you're in the midst of figuring out what do I need to eliminate, what are some distractions, whether it's TV, mindless scrolling, things that no longer serve me, whatever it may be, is I want you to eliminate these things in your life so you can create capacity to eliminate things off of your bucket list, because you deserve to live your most best, wildest envisioned life that you have, the life of your dreams. So again, I want you to eliminate all these other different things in your life so that way you can add so many more amazing things to it. Addition by subtraction. You will grow by eliminating things and then adding things that you actually have a desire for, right? By adding things that you're like, I've always wanted to do this, but I've never created the time. So now is the time to do it. So eliminate those other things that don't really serve you as well as what you think they do. And then add in all the things that you've always desired would add value to you, but you never took the time to do it. So I hope that you found value in this practice today. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. Share this episode with somebody that you feel may gain some insight from it. And let's continue to rock out and grow and be our best selves. I hope and wish and pray nothing but the best for you. Talk to me in the comments, send me a DM, and let me know how I can add value to your life. But until next time, Dr. Rees, your coach. I love y'all. Peace.